It's 11:47 p.m. You're lying in bed, ready to sleep. The lights are off, and your mind replays something you said earlier today. Out loud, it was nothing. A small mistake, a sentence that came out wrong, but the voice in your head won't let it go. Why did I say that? Everyone definitely noticed. You've ruined everything. That was embarrassing. I feel stupid. You didn't choose those words, they just arrived. And here's the question we rarely ask. Who is talking? Because it sounds like you. It uses your voice. It has access to every embarrassing thing you've ever done, going back to 3rd grade. It constantly reminds you of the day you said, "I love you" to a barista instead of "thank you." It never seems to remember any positive memories. It is, frankly, the worst roommate you've ever had. It doesn't pay rent. It never sleeps. It also, somehow, has a key to every room in your head, including the ones you specifically asked it to stay out of. Tonight, we're going to find out where that roommate came from, and it's older than you think, maybe older than language itself. Scientists have spent over a century arguing about one question. How did the first humans communicate? Not which language, but whether they could speak at all. For a long time, we assumed cavemen grunted, pointed, gestured, communicated like a slightly smarter chimpanzee with a worse haircut. But that turns out to be wrong, dead wrong. In 1989, researchers found something in a cave in Israel, a small U-shaped bone called the hyoid. It belonged to a Neanderthal. It was over 60,000 years old, and when they compared it to a modern human hyoid, it was nearly identical. The hyoid is the bone that anchors your vocal muscles, the bone that lets you speak. Neanderthals had it, which means they very likely had something we never gave them credit for, a voice. Which also means somewhere out there, 60,000 years ago, a Neanderthal was almost certainly complaining about her boyfriend, possibly nagging him for breathing wrong. So if cavemen could speak this whole time, the real question isn't whether they had language. The real question is what they used their voices for. And the answer to that question explains the voice in your head. Now, most people wrongly assume language evolved to make us better thinkers. Language did not evolve so humans could think. It evolved so humans could gossip. In the 1990s, the anthropologist Robin Dunbar proposed something now widely accepted in the field. Other primates bond through grooming. Chimpanzees pick bugs off each other for hours. It's slow, physical, and it only works one-on-one. Picture trying to maintain a tribe of 150 people that way. You'd spend your entire life debugging your friends. You'd never get through your contact list. So once human tribes grew past 100, 150 people, grooming everyone individually became impossible. There weren't enough hours in the day, and frankly, not enough bugs. So humans found a replacement: talking. You can gossip with 5 people at once. You can warn an entire camp about danger in one sentence. You can pass down a story to people you've never even groomed, which, evolutionarily speaking, was a massive shortcut. Dunbar called it vocal grooming, which is a polite scientific term for what we now call the group chat. Same function, slightly fewer parasites. Language was never designed to be private. It was built to be social, external, pointed outward at other people to keep the tribe alive. So if that's true, where did the voice in your head come from? Because that voice isn't talking to anyone else. It's not warning the tribe about a leopard. It's narrating, at 11:47 p.m., a slightly awkward thing you said to a barista. In the 1930s, a Russian psychologist named Lev Vygotsky noticed something. Watch any toddler playing alone. They talk, out loud, to themselves. Put the block here. No, here. Psychologists call this private speech. It is essentially a 3-year-old narrating their own documentary. Full commentary, no budget, surprisingly confident. Vygotsky believed it was children practicing a tool they just learned, the same tool used to coordinate with parents, with the tribe, now being pointed at themselves. And here's what happens next. As children grow older, that voice doesn't disappear. It goes quiet. It moves inside. By age 7, most children have internalized it completely. The out-loud voice becomes the inner voice. The same tool your ancestors used to warn the tribe about a predator now lives inside your skull, running 24 hours a day. No off switch, no volume control, pointed at a single target, you. Congratulations, you are both broadcaster and audience, and unfortunately, with a lifetime subscription. So why does it sound so harsh? Your brain has a setting called the default mode network. It switches on whenever you're not focused on a task. standing in line, lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, waiting for sleep that is not coming. And the second it switches on, it starts talking. But it's not running new software. It's running the same threat detection system your ancestors used to survive the savannah. Think of your amygdala as a very old, very dedicated security guard. He's been on shift for 200,000 years. Nobody's told him the building changed. Back then, his job was simple. Scan for danger, overreact, stay alive. A rustle in the grass might be the wind, or it might be a leopard. The ancestors who assumed leopard survived. The ones who assumed wind did not get to pass on their genes. So evolution built us to assume the worst every single time. Today, there are no leopards. There is, however, a slightly passive-aggressive email from your manager, and the security guard sees that email and slams the panic button anyway. Threat detected. Deploy cortisol. We are, once again, going to die. Meanwhile, you're just sitting there thinking, it's an email about changing a font. He doesn't care. He's not paid enough to differentiate between a predator and Helvetica. The caveman's voice kept him alive. Yours is currently losing its mind over Comic Sans. But here's the good news. Because this voice is a tool, not a personality trait, it can be adjusted. Psychologist Ethan Kross at the University of Michigan ran a series of experiments on exactly this. He found that the words you use when you talk to yourself change how your brain responds. Here's an example. Picture two people about to give the same speech. The first one thinks, I'm going to fail this. The second one thinks, Tyler, you've prepared for this. Same fear, same stakes. But the second version uses something called third-person self-talk. Instead of I, you use your own name, like you'd talk to a friend instead of a hostage. And Kross found that this tiny shift creates psychological distance, just enough distance for your brain to treat the problem like someone else's, which it's much better at solving calmly. We are, it turns out, excellent therapists for everyone except ourselves. You'll have a calm, rational 5-step plan in 90 seconds for your friend. Try to come up with the same plan for yourself and you'll get a nervous breakdown. That's hack 1. When the voice gets loud, don't argue with it in first person. Use your name instead. Hack 2 comes from a researcher named Lisa Feldman Barrett. She studies how the brain actually builds emotions. Her research shows your brain isn't just describing what you feel, it's constructing it, using the words you give it. Say, I'm devastated, and your brain manufactures devastation. Full chemical response. Cortisol, adrenaline, the works. Your body does not know the difference between heartbreak and a delayed flight if you describe them with the same word. But say something more specific. I'm disappointed and a little embarrassed, and the response is smaller, more accurate, less damage. This is called emotional granularity. The more precise your words, the less your body suffers. Vague, dramatic language doesn't just sound bad, it costs you physically. Your nervous system is billing you by the word, and devastated is not on the discount plan. So let's go back to that cave in Israel, that small U-shaped bone, the one that told us Neanderthals could speak. They used that voice to warn each other about predators, to pass down stories around a fire, to hold a tribe of strangers together long enough to become a civilization. That tool is still inside you right now. It never stopped running. It just lost its original job, and frankly, it never got the memo, the severance package, or the retirement plan. It's been doing the same job, unpaid, for 300,000 years, and it has never once taken a vacation day. Tonight, at 11:47 p.m., when that voice starts talking again, it's not malfunctioning, it's not broken, it's a 300,000-year-old survival system doing exactly what it was built to do. You can't turn the voice off, but for the first time, you know what it actually is. Your terrible roommate is just very, very old, and it's looking out for you. And now, you know what to say back.